sort of biding time now, just running the clock down.
Tamanisau's clearance is a huge one, but Nelson Valentine has collected it. Now Upainga would like to see a bit more of Koreak Upainga in the Fiji third, affecting play, maybe providing a bit more accuracy on some of these crosses. He's known for it with his club Hikari United. Nelson. There's only one defender back for Papua New Guinea at the moment. It's a free kick.
And again, you see, you either beat them or you draw the foul, and Upainga could do that nearly every time he gets the ball. He's got great ball control. He's got turn of pace, acceleration, and he runs him. Look, a lovely little flick inside there. Boom, just an errant foot by Tekiati, who's had a very quiet game. And I don't know, maybe because they're playing a bit further out on the right, hasn't it? And here's this cross. Coming actually delivering a reasonable cross, although a fraction closer to the goalkeeper, and Tamanisau does very well to come out and just mop it up. But a chance coming right up to half time, a chance for
Mutta swings it in. Tamanisau punches clear, and well, that is the end of the first half here at Lawson Tama Stadium. It's been an interesting first 45 minutes. Fiji currently hold the lead. Matthew Dunadamu scored after 14 minutes with a close range header, but Papua New Guinea have been worth more than trailing by a goal to nil. And there is their best chance probably of the first half.
And here is the goal. The awful attempted clearance from Leslie Kalai in the goal. Alvin Singh pushes it back in, and Dunadamu off his head and shoulder gets it into the back of the net. Well, perhaps straight off his head, maybe I'm a bit harsh on him, but that really was neither one thing nor the other. It's just a half a patsy on it. Gets caught out, the Papua New Guinea goalkeeper.
Well, I tend to think that if Kalai's going to punch here, that's permissible if his defenders are going to attack the second phase ball, and they haven't, not in a convincing fashion.
But that wasn't a punch, though. He's opened his palm on us. It's a little bit of a pat. It's almost like he thinks, oh, I can get this, and then suddenly halfway up he realises he can't, and he's sort of caught out. And we see the crowd building up on the bank. That will be packed by the time Solomon Islands play New Zealand.
Well, it's time for a commercial break. Stay with us, though. We'll be back in just a moment with the rest of the second half. Welcome back to Lawson Thomas Stadium, half-time in the match between Papua New Guinea and Fiji. It's 1-0 to Fiji. Matthew Dunadamu's 14th minute goal has Carlos Pizzetti's team ahead in this game, and Miles, interesting first 45 minutes.
It was. I mean, they got the goal that they wanted reasonably early on, but they failed to really show the energy and desire, and I don't know whether that's just down to the conditions, of the fact that it's their third game in 5 days and they've run out of steam. The Papua New Guineans seem willing and up for it, just a little bit inaccurate. But if the Fijians can't find the energy in the second half, they could concede an equaliser, which is going to knock them out. After 7 minutes, we saw Michael Foster put a good cross in. Keema Jack really should have done a lot better with that, and he will know that he'll be very disappointed that he at least didn't bring a save out of Simeone Tamanisau in the Fijian goal. The Fijians did get the goal that they needed early on.
That was Suami's corner, fired in at Leslie Carlisle, punched it straight up in the air. The header by Alvin Singh finds Matthew Dunadamu, and look at this, marking just a bit suspect, and the striker just steering it into the back of the net. Look, he was lurking there for the first ball, and there's Singh's header, and there is Dunadamu, and you're right, Miles, that comes off his shoulder and into the back of the net. But Fiji won't be complaining, and disappointing for Papua New Guinea, but they have asserted themselves in this match. They have contributed much to the tournament. It's remarkable to think that they haven't picked up a point as yet.
Roy Krishna, who for me has gone missing in action really in terms of desire, and injected himself in the game in the latter half of that half. Had a couple of chances, created it himself, hits a lovely shot here with his left foot, and that's not far away from making it 2-0. But there hasn't been for me enough of Krishna and the like really showing the desire. Vakatalasau here waited for a few seconds before he decided he could actually win this ball, and does the right thing, unselfish, tries to find Dunadamu at the far post, but can't quite do it, and Papua New Guinea managed to clear. But those moments of injection into the game, desire and passion and energy have been too few and far between. Sorry, that was Krishna coming in at the far post. And I just wonder whether it is just exhaustion, and they're letting Papua New Guinea get back into it.
And here's another example, a ball from a wide area. Raymond Ganemba had 2 goes at it. Samuel Avula, the defender, blocked him, and then Tamanisau, the Lautoka goalkeeper and Fiji skipper, just seized his moment and then threw himself at the feet of Ganemba. Brave goalkeeping by the captain. It was Mike Foster's ball, a measured cross along the ground.
And perhaps a penalty there? I don't know. What do you reckon?
Well, I think it's difficult to call that one when he's gone foot first and rolled off the ball. I think Vula, though, physical as ever.
And now after 36 minutes, another chance for Fiji. A long ball. And a shot, managed to get to Dunadamu, gets a decent shot in there. Kalai really had it covered in the PNG goal, and it goes out harmlessly for a corner, despite Vakatalasau trying to convince the linesman at the time that it was a corner. It went out for the goal kick, rather. A few Fijian fans, a few hardy Fijian fans have made the journey. There's a couple of Kiwi fans up there as well, or a couple of Kiwi flags anyway. So the people that brought them in are hardcore New Zealand supporters. But one thing that will please the New Zealand team is a bit of cloud cover, which we haven't had much for the last 5 or 6 days, has made its way here.
Well, there are the statistics at half-time. The goals, 1 for Fiji, none for Papua New Guinea. Shots, 8 apiece, which is a fair reflection of the end-to-end nature of this game, and only one of them on target, and that perhaps suggests that there's an element of fatigue floating about both teams. Fiji have doubled Papua New Guinea's corner count, and Frank Farina's side have conceded more fouls, twice as many in fact, but there's been no red cards, no yellow cards, and no offsides.
We made this point yesterday, Gordon, as well, though, about the lack of fouls there, and you look at it and think, well, really, if Fiji want to win this, we've seen how physical they are. Where is this extra aggression in the challenge, and is it down to just pure exhaustion and lack of energy, or trying to conserve themselves? Do they believe that they've already won this game and that the Solomons are going to lose to New Zealand in the next game? They really I don't know. Are they just going to try and sit back? That'd be too dangerous.
We can now cross to Priscilla Duncan, who's with former all-white goalkeeper James Bannatyne, who's part of the OFC TSG.
Thanks very much, Gordon. Well, I'm here with James Bannatyne. Now, you're working for OFC as part of the technical study group. Just tell us a little bit about what the technical study group actually does.
Hi Priscilla, thanks for that. We basically watch all of the games and make observations on both teams. There's 2 staff on each match, one observing each team, and then observing what the team does when they have the ball, so in possession, and what they do out of possession. So along with that, how they score the goals, how they concede the goals, who the strong players are, maybe where the weaknesses are in the side, and really just take an overall look at one particular team on the day, and then obviously the other staff member looks at the other side.
This information you're collating, so what happens with that afterwards?
Basically that's all formed into a report for the entire tournament, so there is a rundown on each particular team and how they basically a summary on that particular team, and then also the third and fourth matches and the finals, the semi-finals. From there it goes into a report, and there is a history of the tournament and the event. So,
and what are some of the trends you're seeing in the tournament so far?
Oh, certainly it's been a great tournament. Obviously there's group that we're seeing today, Group B, has been very strong with all of the matches very, very close. So in terms of competition and competitiveness, that is exciting. There's been lots of chances, and obviously the conditions are tough for the players, but nonetheless there certainly is a very willing contests and and good competition.
All right, thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of the tournament. Back to you, Gordon.
James Bannatyne there with Priscilla Duncan, just talking about the finer points of the technical study group of the OFC and the work that they're performing in the islands, and with James' experience as a goalkeeper at international level. He's got a task ahead of him to raise the standards of goalkeeping in the Oceania region. I played in non-league football in England with James Bannatyne briefly, and he's not only a very good goalkeeper and goalkeeper coach, he's also a fantastic bloke as well.
I wouldn't go that far. He certainly wasn't fantastic on the plane back from South Africa, I can tell you that for nothing. But that's a story for another day, and maybe a courtroom. But he is doing a lot of good work in the islands, and the cloud are coming over, and we have had no rain during this tournament, during play in this tournament. We haven't had rain for about 5 or 6 days, and although some players want it, I don't think the pitch will be wanting it just yet. It's done a remarkable job. This is the 11th game in 5.5 days on this pitch, and it's still holding up really well. But a big downpour and some very staunch tackling island boys on it might see it give up the will to live.
Well, there's been no changes made at half-time. And Fiji really need to get 1 or 2 more goals in the second half to just put the squeeze on the host nation this afternoon when they take on New Zealand's All Whites. We're underway here at Lawson Tama. Fiji 1, Papua New Guinea 0. It's Remueru Tekiati. Alvin Arvanesh. There's a run forward that Arvanesh has spotted. That's a fantastic ball, but the offside flag goes up immediately. Mutta. Foster. Joe.
There's a lot to like about David Mutta, isn't there? He really is a... how old is he now?
Let's see, he played in the qualifiers for the Olympic Games in 2008. So he would probably be around about the 25 mark so now, David Mutta.
Plenty of time left in him then.
Absolutely. He does play most of his football for Sunshine Cross in Queensland in the State Premier League. He played alongside Reginald Devani in Australia as well. He's had a couple of spells in and out of Australian football, punctuated by some time spent at Hikari United. But he is an accomplished footballer. He's very tidy on the ball. And in tandem with Sam Kinney, who's, I have to say, a player that I haven't come across too often prior to this tournament. I think they do a remarkably good job for Frank Farina's team, just ensuring that their ball moves around and is recycled, and then going forward seems to be the piece of the puzzle that's missing at the moment for Papua New Guinea. They did score against New Zealand, let's not forget that. Now that's a good ball by Mutta for Komeng. Komeng is taken out by Vula.
And they could well have. There was a good shout for another penalty when Aaron Clapham gave a little bit of assistance to Papua New Guinea striker who'd managed to get in front of him inside the area to push him over.
Well, that's exactly right, and I think that's the point that we're both making, is Papua New Guinea are able to get into goal scoring positions. They are able to create chances. They just haven't managed to score from open play, but you get the feeling it might not be too far away. Mutta, that's an easy one for Vula. Joe's header picked up by Suwami. Now Dunadamu. Difficult one for Sam Wakatalasau to chase.
And there is a bit of a breeze now that's coming on, which is a massive relief here in the commentary box. And also some rather, they look as if they're rain clouds, but I'm not sure, because the weather forecast in here is just a total waste of time. You look at them, they say that for the last 3 days it's meant to be thunder and lightning, and it's been scorching hot 42 degrees. But that would be interesting to see how that would change the dynamic. The crowd building up as well, and they will all be wanting Papua New Guinea to get an equaliser in this game, because that would ensure that the Solomon Islands go through no matter what the result against New Zealand later on this afternoon.
Alvin Avanish taken out. Here's Vula, now Wanga.
And well intercepted there by Michael Foster to cut out that threat. But it's good to see the instruction or the endeavour that gets put in by the Fijians. As you mentioned earlier on, Juan Carlos Pizzetti, the Uruguayan, I think he is, isn't he? The South American coach for Fiji, had a horrible accident the other day. He slipped over by the pool. He's broken a bone in his hip. He had a chip taken out. He's immobile at the moment. But even yesterday, this morning, I was talking to one of our team who'd been up to visit him at the Fijian hotel, and he was trying to procure a wheelchair of some sort so that he could come down and watch the game. He has a massive influence on the team. They respect him greatly. They respond to him. Maybe they needed him there at half-time to give him a bit of a kick up the backside and get the last reserves of energy to ensure that they stay in this competition.
Suami's free kick is wound in. It's an easy one for Carlisle. It doesn't really test the Papua New Guinea defence. Now Ganemba. Papua New Guinea on the break, under great encouragement from this home crowd, and again the final ball.
What is wrong
just
with...
lets them down.
Gordon, what's wrong? You've got Akima Jack running here. Surely... the ball across to the far post, giving him space.
And meanwhile, at the other end, the ball launched all the way to Leslie Carlisle. Upainga.
The option taken is really lets them down on occasion. They don't even seem to be thinking about it.
Yaravai, that's a good ball by the centre half for Mike Foster. Kema Jack has got in front of Vula. What sort of ball can be produced? It's going to be a corner for Papua New Guinea. So Papua New Guinea still able to apply pressure from those wide areas. Fiji just struggling to get a hold of Mike Foster. And if he can compose himself before he delivers, then you suspect Papua New Guinea may be in with a chance of scoring a goal of their own. Here's Mutta. Oh, and that's a well-timed jump by Baliatonga. Baliatonga, of course, from Lambasa, and Lambasa won the Inter-District Cup last season, and Baliatonga was unable to get in that side. It shows you all about the quality they've got. Komeng for Foster. He pops up on the left. Vula defends heartily. Upainga. Nice header. Foster looking to combine. Now can Upainga cross. Cuts back in on his right. Can still cross here. Upainga goes for a shot. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, it's hit Kimmer-Jack. Cleared by Yami. Fiji just under a bit of pressure at the moment. Oh, Ravai was a bit casual with that pass. Back to Kalai, and whoa, that was close as well. Ravai, this game opening up. Now Kinney. Mutta looks for a run ahead. Can't offload it. Well, he's got a foul for his troubles.
Let's have a look at the replay. It really is hotting up there, and Upainga delivering the cross, maybe a little bit too much gas on it. Jack does well to keep it in, but here we go again. Upainga again.
Headed clear. Papua New Guinea have upped the tempo. Now Daniel Joe. Foster can't beat Alvin Singh, but it's going to drop for Mutta. Blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Komeng, Mutta. What can he produce? Goes to the corner. It's Upainga. He has a chance to wind in a good ball. Oh, and a chance. Oh, and he's missed it. Raymond Ganemba.
That is 3 golden opportunities in 2 games for Raymond Ganemba in the 6-yard box. You're getting frustrated there, Mr. Watson, with it.
Oh, I just can't believe it, Miles. Great ball in by Upainga. And here's Ganemba unmarked. And look at that. There's nobody on the post. Alvin Singh's the closest player. He's at least 2 metres away. And you've got to feel for him. He had to have done better in that position.
He really has. He had 2 against New Zealand where he got into that position. It looks like there's going to be a booking for Tamani Sao for time wasting very early on, only 7 minutes, 8 minutes into the second half. The referee's having none of it. He knows all their tactics. And if Fiji continue with this attitude, and we expressed concern for them at half time that they were dropping off and the desire or the energy wasn't there, they're going to find themselves knocked out of this tournament before even the next game.
Komeng beats Avanish. Mutta, who's starting to take control of this match. Great touch by Kenny. Oh, and that was the right ball to play. It was cut out by Alvin Singh, but Kenny's picked it up again. He's having a wonderful game. Samuel Kinney. Upainga, overlapping run from Eric Komeng. It's cut out by Tekiati. Oh, and a foul. And Avanish has been hurt in the process, and Upainga is going to pick up a yellow card.
Really, and we're seeing now exactly what we saw in. It'll be interesting to see how injured Avanish is. We haven't seen any of the histrionics. It's a pretty tough challenge, but I don't know that he's been that badly hurt. I said that about Paston as well. So I may well be wrong, but that's one of the great things about this tournament is that it has been played hard, but in great spirit and regard. Confirmation there of a yellow card for Simeone Tamani Sao, the Fijian goalkeeper and captain, for time wasting, and I do believe there was another one flashed there as well to Upainga, the fullback for Papua New Guinea, who's injected himself into the game.
Route 1 stuff, and a chance for Vakatala Sao. If it can fall for the rangy striker, it can't. Upainga comes away. Ganemba checks an option behind him, then returns the pass. David Mutta, now Kinney. Oh, and just trying to loft the ball into Ganemba. It's fallen kindly for Papua New Guinea. Krishna having to do some defending. It's been a quiet game for Roy Krishna. He's had 2 shots on goal, and he really is labouring. And that's a foul by Tekiati,
who's also going to get his name taken, or he's going to at least get a warning. I think the referee's no, he's letting him go. Just standing where the free kick's to be taken. And it's interesting, I was saying that we're seeing the same pattern. Papua New Guinea, and there's a confirmation, Korea Upainga getting yellow carded. They go behind, and then they start to dominate the rest of the game, as they did against New Zealand. They really had the better of the last sort of 65, 70 minutes of that game against New Zealand. And yet they conceded another goal. They went 2-0 down, and there was almost a danger at the other end that they might do that.
Another cross. Buller's defended the last 2 crosses from Papua New Guinea. Now the centre half has to play a bit. And Korea Upainga must have heard us up in the commentary box. He read that and intercepted it, but Fiji will restart with a throw-in.
He does. He's an exciting player playing when he injects himself into the game. As I said, he's not necessarily the best defensively in the last third of his field, but the other end, he's just great to watch.
That's not too bad a ball. It can't be controlled by Dunadamu. Sam Kinney mops up. That's a heavy touch by Valentine Nelson. Now a chance. Perhaps Osea. Wakatalasau. It's not a bad cross. And Dunadamu. Oh, so close for Fiji. Couldn't keep the header down.
There's going to be a substitution here. Fresh legs are coming on for Fiji. It looks like it's going to be Apisai Smith. It's a lovely Fijian surname. Let's have a look at the replay there. That Vakatalasau gets a lovely little ball back in, and his strike partner Dunadamu again not getting the header on target. And it's just, we've seen so much of that. See who he's going to replace.
It's Osea Vakatalasau. Well, his tournament has potentially come to a close here this afternoon. Osea Vakatalasau. He hasn't scored a goal at this tournament. He's got into the right positions, but it just hasn't fallen for him. Well, that's a good tackle by Apisai Smith, the substitute. It's his first contribution to the match, and he has a shot, and Leslie Carlisle forced into a save from Smith. Now Upainga. Well, very similar physique, Apisai Smith to Osea Vakatalasau, so it's almost like for like. I wonder if he's in a goal-scoring mood, the substitute, because Fiji really needs some goals. Here's Avanesh, lines up a shot. Just had a little bit of swerve on it. It would have been difficult for Carlisle had it been on target.
Going to look at that shot there from Smith. He's only just come on. They seem to have a factory in Fiji that just churns out these monsters. They've got them at both ends of the park, and they are a physically intimidating side. I don't think there's probably a more physical side in world football, and if there is, I certainly haven't seen it.
Well, Fiji have forced a corner. Apisai Smith, as you would expect, is at the far post. Dunadamu around the penalty spot. Papua New Guinea on the rack at the moment as the corner is swung in. Punched by Kalai. Avanesh tries to hoist one over. It's gone to the far post. Upainga has headed it out for another corner. Sawami will take it.
You get the feeling that Fiji really need that second goal. They really need it. The Papua New Guineans have got their tails up.
That's a lofted ball. Apisai Smith won't get that. There is a breeze that has picked up here. You'll see it in your picture on halfway with the FIFA flags and the flags of the competing nations now fluttering about. And that corner was just lifted beyond the range of Apisai Smith. Nice play by Mutta. Here's Upainga. Roy Krishna has gone in heavily. I wonder what Keita Zatuni will do.
That was a very, very hard challenge, and we saw Roy Krishna put a few of those in the other day as well. A replay of that challenge. It was poor touch from Upainga though, which opened up the opportunity. That was straight over the top of the ball with no intention to play it from Roy Krishna. And I think he's just been received a warning from the referee that any more of that shenanigans, and you'll be getting a card as well. But this Papua New Guinean side have been so impressive, and you give a lot of credit to the players, but a lot's got to go to Frank Farina as well. The way that he's, in his short time, they've managed to drag them out of the doldrums, arrange them, and get the players to obviously listen to them. Here's this golden opportunity. Upainga puts a cross in, and Eric Ganemba showing that he is not the man you want on the end of a cross in the 6-yard box. He missed 2 of those against New Zealand.
The match has restarted with a free kick taken by David Mutta for the foul on Upainga. Now Sam Kinney has returned.
He's a little bit
the favour.
He's a little bit lucky there, because I sensed a little bit of an elbow. I think the referee's given him the benefit of the doubt. I sense a bit of an elbow in that challenge.
So we're in the 61st minute. Papua New Guinea 0. First minute. Papua New Guinea 0. Fiji 1. It's been an absorbing 15 minutes of the second half. Iaravai's header goes as far as Avanesh. Painga, as you'd imagine, getting very tight on Christian now. Here's Balatonga. The Lambasa man, Eric Coming, takes him to the ground, but the referee says that's fair. It's going to be a throw-in. Now I wonder if Balatonga will take a long throw. He hasn't got Vakatalasau to aim for, but he does have Upside Smith. And Iaravai is going to have to be very, very careful how he treats the substitute. Different kettle of fish to Vakatalasau, and there is Upside Smith winning it. Iaravai gets the second bite, and it's cleared by Upainga. Buller's header back into the mix. Sam Kinney, as ever, tidying up. And this is an easy one for Carlisle.
See how far the Fijians have pushed up their defence as well. It was an all-court press, I think, in my opinion. They really pushed up. I think they realised the need for this second goal to give them a bit of breathing space.
And that really would put Solomon Islands under pressure when they face New Zealand this afternoon.
Just to remind you, really, that yes, if the result stays like this, a 1-0 loss to the Solomon Islanders would leave both Solomon Islands and Fiji on 4 points with identical results and a 0-0 draw against each other, and they would have to be separated by a drawing of lots, which is not something that I would particularly be looking forward to.
No, that's providing New Zealand beat the Solomon Islands by 1-0. Oh, and Smith's header blocked, shot by Dunadamu. It's another corner. So yes, if New Zealand beat Solomon Islands by 1-0, that would leave Solomons and Fiji on 4 points apiece. 1 goal for, 1 against, 4 points, and they would both have 0 goal difference. Now head to head, they drew 0-0. As we see Suami swing this in. Oh, and Carlisle, that was a crucial touch, only as far as Smith. So yes, they would be absolutely all square. And it would then be a situation that we saw in the 1990 World Cup, where 3 teams finished level in the final wash-up, and that went to the drawing of lots.
Double substitution coming up here for PNG. By the looks of it, as Michael Foster makes a break.
Daniel Joe's overlapped on the far side. Tani Lawanga, that's pretty experienced defending from him. There's also another man from Lambasa.
But a poor delivery again from Foster. He's been a standout the first 2 games. He's just, I don't know, he's either run out of energy or used up all his tricks in the first 2 games. His touch has been pretty poor. That was a golden opportunity there, but he overhit it.
Well, I think Frank Farina is going to make some changes up top. Now, Jamal Sito, who played at the Under-23 Olympic Games qualifiers in March, is one option, and the other is Jeremy Yasasa, who's come on as a substitute in all 3 games so far. That's a good ball from Kinney. Mike Foster likes this from distance. Good save by Tamanisa. Combing! Oh, across the basic goal. What do they have to do to score, Papua New Guinea? They've got Fiji on the rack.
Well, I think these substitutions that are about to take place, as you correctly predicted there, show the intent of Frank Farina and his side. And 2 great chances there, and Eric Coming blazing that, getting closed down by Tikiati, maybe just putting him off. And Coming, that is his last part that he will play in the game as he gets substituted.
Jeremy Yasasa is the substitute who replaces Eric Coming. So the same substitutions that Frank Farina opted for in the match with New Zealand, and now that yielded a goal, don't forget, in that match. And I just wonder if it's going to be effective enough here to see Papua New Guinea draw level. Now, if they do draw level, all of the talk about what would happen for the final semi-final place would be rendered academic. Papua New Guinea would finish the tournament with a point, and Fiji would be out, but they'd have 2 points. Clearly not enough to go further. Now a chance for Dunadamu. Good save by Leslie Carlisle. He can't have seen it until very late, the goalkeeper.
But already Smith, since his injection for Vakatalasau, has shown more eagerness, more energy about himself, and is creating a bit of havoc here and he manages to finally get his ball under control, lays off a lovely touch here, and Dunadamu hits it exceedingly well, but well dealt with by Leslie Kalai in the PNG goal.
So Roy Krishna's going to take the corner. Apasai Smith makes his run. That's overhit, and that probably sums up Roy Krishna's afternoon. It's been a difficult match for the Fijian striker.
I think that sums up his tournament, really. Roy's been a little bit out of sorts. He's the sort of player that we've seen a lot in New Zealand, playing for Waitakere, scoring a lot of goals. He's a nippy player, but he's created a couple of decent opportunities for himself, but not being able to take them, but generally been pretty subdued.
Tekiati, that's a nice lofted ball. Krishna can play a part here. Carlisle's all over the place. Smith sets it up. Baliatonga trying to set himself up for a shot. Now Smith, whoa, and that's going to trouble the corner flag. Apasai Smith.
There are a lot of tired legs out there, as we've mentioned, 3 games in 5 days, and the touch is just not there for a lot of them. Baliatonga there had a really good chance to set himself up, but hit it too far away from himself, not good, decent enough control.
Isasa with a long ball for the other substitute, Sito. Oh, and that looked out to me, but play goes on. Sito trying to work a ball into Korea Kupainga's path, and he's got a corner.
Here we are, let's have a look and see if that was out. It looked alright from me, but yeah.
Oh, whole ball.
Yeah, no.
And that's in.
That was, and well done. But then he stumbled over it again once he got past it. Now, David Mutter's he's not taking it this time.
No.
Why David Mutter's not taking it?
Korea Kupainga can't beat the first man. That's a disappointing corner kick from the Mount Hagen player.
I wonder what the theory on that is. Mutter's
Yasasa, ball in. Vula clears it. Mutter on the edge. He might fancy a shot, or will he set it up? He sets it up for Mike Foster. A couple of step overs and a fake to cross. Daniel Joe provides the overlap. His cross comes in. Oh, and it was just taken offline. Sam Kinney was lining up a shot. Mutter now pushing forward. And well played, Taniela Wanga. No hard feelings between the two players. They know each other so well. David Mutter and Taniela Wanga.
Have a look there, and this really has been symptomatic of this tournament. Now, a bit of a argy-bargy and then a straight. Yeah, it's all right, mate.
And this is an awkward one. Yes, it's a corner. Apasai Smith's flicked header for Siaravai into an emergency clearance, but in the end it was Kalai who had to catch it, but it was always going to be a corner.
Commentators' nightmare, some of these games, the ability to switch from one end to another.
Well, it's been like that, Miles. The second half has been end to end. It's been fascinating as the cut and thrust has changed. The impetus first with Fiji on 14 minutes, and then it's swung back Papua New Guinea's way. They're desperate to finish this tournament with something tangible. As we see the corner whipped in, well punched away, acrobatic. Oh, and it's the goalkeeper's been fouled by Elvin Singh. Leslie Carlisle staying down. I'll tell you what, Leslie Carlisle doesn't have much of a history of playing football per se as a goalkeeper.
He's come out here and
almost a case of the John Lukic's punching it into his own net. It was heading backwards.
I don't know where the foul was there, but goalkeepers are a protected species, despite there being hundreds of them, thousands of them all over the world.
And Mutter plays Kinney. Now Joe. Sito's made a run forward. Joe's turned that over cheaply. It's Apasai Smith. Finds Dunadamu. That's a nice chest down by Dunadamu. Sawami's shot is not going to trouble Carlisle, who wants to get things restarted quickly. Just under 20 minutes to go in this match.
The attitude of some of these Fijian players with those ridiculous shots. He's got 2 players either side of him. Let's play football to get a goal instead of trying to hog a bit of glory for yourself.
Well played by Upainga. Sam Kinney, for me, has been man of the match for Papua New Guinea. Here's Upainga. Oh, nobody hitting the near post. Kema Jack was on the edge of the box. Jamal Sito was at the far post.
And that brings us to the traditional now water break, 2-minute break to rehydrate, which is essential. It has come overcast now. It probably has cooled considerably, down from 42 to about 36 now.
Yes, a cool, calm, mild 36 degrees.
I better get my cardigan on in a minute. And here's Upaenga, this magnificent cross. And Eric Kanemba, he will be having heading practice with Frank Farina, I'm sure, when he goes home. He had 2 opportunities against New Zealand, a golden opportunity there for PNG. And I think the crowd at the far side, the bank is building up. They all wanted that to go in. I think they're pretty frustrated with Eric Kanemba, who's no longer taking part. He's been substituted. And after 65 minutes, Smith managing to get Dunadama into space, and a good save from Leslie Kalai, the not longer goalkeeper, you were saying, Gordon.
No, he in fact hasn't received much training as a junior. He came into the picture quite late, but in terms of raw material, I think he's got a lot to offer Papua New Guinea in the long term. He is a big, strong lad and is not afraid to get involved with some of the grittier stuff from set plays. We've seen him come out and block opportunities one-on-one as well, and he looks as though he could be number one for Papua New Guinea for years to come if he wanted. But what a brave performance by Papua New Guinea throughout this tournament. I mean, it's the hardest section in the tournament. They haven't been involved in the FIFA World Cup qualifying pathway for the last 2 campaigns, and Frank Farina, who has a natural affinity with the country itself, having lived there in his childhood, has really brought them up to speed, and we saw that in the under-23s. We're seeing it here again. They're just lacking some cutting edge in front of goal, but that may change. Dunadamu, that's a wonderful ball for Smith. Now he's got no support, he may shoot himself. Oh, great save by Kalai. Apiata Smith, well, he struck it like a tracer bullet.
That was magnificent football, centre forward football. He's run onto a great through ball from Dunadamu, and Smith realises he's got no support. There's only one option. Struck it well and nearly knocked the hands off of Leslie Kalai in the Papua New Guinea goal.
Yeah, strong hands by the goalkeeper, keeping Papua New Guinea to within 1 of Fiji as this ball is swung into the far post, and Tekiati, no, it's Alvin Singh, unmarked. He hit it at the perfect point at the far post, but he wasn't marked, and it's gone over the top.
There's another one here. He arrives perfectly for it, but just maybe a fraction too early and can't get over it.
Now Kinney back with the action. Mutta evades 2, links it up for Kinney. Oh, and a chance for Korea Kapainga. It's just overhit. Tamanisa going long. Well, now the urgency in both teams has picked up.
And the crowd are enjoying it. And the one thing that's impressed me about this crowd, I mean, other than the fact of how much they're passionate and how much they love football, is their willingness to cheer any bit of attacking play, no matter who it is, even if it's against their beloved Bonitos.
Now, Papua New Guinea can break. They've got 4 up against 4 Fijian defenders. Mike Foster leaves it for Sam Kinney. Papua New Guinea finishing with a rousing tempo. Kinney does keep it in. Well played by the midfielder. Touched off, and there's a shot from Kema Jack, deflected. It's out for a corner.
Oh, I think Peter Bolatanga has just got his foot in there in time. Tamanisau in goal may well have had it covered. But look at the energy here from Guinea, as you're quite rightly saying. Energetic, lovely left foot shot and deflected, although Tamanisau did look to have it covered.
Mutta with the corner. It's a good one. Korea Kapainga can't get on the end of it. It's headed clear by Baliatonga. Now the midfield architect, Mutta, and well, it's out for a goal kick. Not his usual high standard save in Mutta. But this match is absolutely enthralling. I've got goosebumps just being here watching it all.
especially with the importance of it in terms of this group. You can sense it, you're feeling it from the crowd as well. You know, the goal for Papua New Guinea basically qualifies the Solomon Islands for the semi-finals and for the World Cup qualifiers. Stage 3.
Let's not forget, Fiji were involved in the final Oceania group in 2008. They wouldn't want to miss out here. It would be a hammer blow for football in that country. A country that's produced some wonderful international players over the years and some equally compelling club football in the O-League, and they would have only a diet of O-League if their national team were to bow out of the OFC Nations Cup FIFA World Cup qualifying process. Now there's a substitution being prepared for Papua New Guinea. It's Reginald Devani, the veteran striker, formerly with Auckland City, Bay Olympic and Metro in New Zealand, and Kossa more locally, who is going to be thrown in for the final 14 minutes.
Well, Sawami is still writhing around from that challenge from Michael Foster and just being left underneath the Solomon Airlines plane. Let's have a look. Yeah, not too much in that, just two of them going for it.
Oh, and Carlisle was forced to palm it over the crossbar.
And you can see that breeze picking up is having an effect.
Well played by Carlisle. It's one of those nightmare moments that goalkeepers fear, when the footage can end up on YouTube of a calamitous moment from a long kick out. He's dealt with that sufficiently enough to save himself the embarrassment, but it's going to be a corner that will be taken by Roy Krishna.
I think that he'll be looking at his YouTube footage from this game with a lot of pride. He's made some very good saves, Leslie Cly, apart from the fanny flapping around that he did for the goal. He's really kept Papua New Guinea in this game.
Yes, he's certainly gone a long way to redeeming himself. Now Papua New Guinea can't get this substitution processed. Krishna's whipped it in. Oh, and keeper's missed it. Now a chance for Papua New Guinea to break again. Lawson Tama comes to life. Iaravai looking for Jamal Sito. He'll have to do well to beat Tani Alawanga. It's out for a throw-in. So Reginald Devani can join this match.
And is it Kima Jack or is it Kenny coming off? Has he got it upside down?
Well, more drama to come. That's whipped in and cleared by Roy Krishna in the fashion of a striker. I have to say. Didn't really put much on it. It's Sam Kinney, who's had an absolutely brilliant game. I've enjoyed watching his performance today. He's an unsung hero in this side, but he's just the perfect foil for David Mutta. Papua New Guinea going for broke. Reg Devani could possibly be one of his last international performances. He's starting to get on a bit. That's hoisted in by Max Foster now. Devani trying to back into Tani Alawanga. Papua New Guinea are going to be increasingly vulnerable on this counter-attack in the final 12 minutes. Yasasa's given it away. Picked up again by Mike Foster. Now David Mutta. Oh, through the legs of Smith. That's clever play by Mutta. Yasasa.
Every time you say that, I want to say, that's my baby.
Mike Foster. Kema Jack. Now chance to cross. Whipped in. Nobody there. Oh, it's taken a deflection. Oh, and they're asking for a handball. Cater's attorney, the referee, says no. The crowd don't like it.
Was it handball or I thought it came off his knee. I was wondering whether they thought that was a deliberate pass back. I'm not sure, but they looked towards the linesman, so perhaps it was handball.
Krishna plays it. Cleared by Jeremy Yasasa.
Have a look at that incident there. It comes through and ball to hand to ball. A little bit lucky there for Peter Balatonga.
Smith with the cross. It's not a bad ball. Taken on the chest and a chance for Balatonga. Good save by Leslie Carlisle. He's done well again. Gets things going through Mutta. What a save by Carlisle. Anticipated it. Plenty of confidence to come off his line and grab it. Just off Peter Balatonga, who I can tell you has his head in his hands there as he walks back to rejoin play. Another anxious moment. Foster. Devani running into space. It's Upainga who collects it. Now Devani is making a run to the far post. Upainga needs to get across, and Tekiati's not letting him have the space. Foster. Oh, and another handball perhaps. Upainga trying to get in there. Jack crowded out by Suami, and he's taken out. It's a free kick. I wonder if Reginald Devani's going to take this.
It's in a very, very dangerous area. Another thing I love about Leslie Kalai, and I love this with goalkeepers, let's have a little replay of this, the foul on the edge of the area. They're snapping away at his heels, and yes, Suami takes him out there. Not much ball in that challenge. It's the way that Kalai delivers the ball quickly. When he gets hold of the ball, he creates an attack. He creates momentum from goal immediately, and I love goalkeepers that do that.
It's going to be Devani. I can tell you he's pretty handy from a set piece. David Mutta's standing over the ball. Mike Foster is off to the left of Devani.
Well, if there's a wall that can protect one side of a goal from this close, it's the Fijian one if they do the job properly, because they are rather tall timber. But
can Devani write himself a bit of history? Oh, and it's so close. Devani, who's played at Lawson Tama a number of times for the Kosa Club, saw an opportunity and it just grazed the outside of the post. Have a look at it. Past the wall, not far away. It must have been a yard or so. Tamanisa looked to have had it covered.
And it looks like Roy Christen's played his last part in this game. Been replaced now by number 22, Miss Ailey Durrani Barker.
Well, we have to stop to catch our breath. It's been an absolutely fascinating game in the second half. So enjoyable to cover.
It's been fantastic. It's actually given me the extra boost of energy I needed in this sweat box to keep it going. But unbelievable where they've got the energy from. And Fiji could be now paying the price if they let a goal in for not exerting this energy in the first half and really seeking that second goal.
Here's Foster. Jamal Sito's made a run down this right flank. That ball too close to Tani Alawanga, who shepherds it out. I tell you what, Tani Alawanga has been the epitome of composure for Fiji today. He's kept his nerve despite this Papua New Guinea onslaught. Smith, that's a good header by the substitute. Daniel Joe hoists it forward. Devani underneath it. Looked like a foul. It's been picked up by Kemma Jack. And it's going to be a yellow card.
Is that Alvin Singh?
It looks like it's to Alvin Singh.
And I think he could be, if they do go through, that would mean that he misses
yes, he
the
does.
next game.
It's his second yellow card of the tournament. He picked up yellow in the opening match. And he's got one here in potentially Fiji's final match. We'll see. There's more drama to come before we can start talking in absolutes. Now Muta's going to take the free kick. Tamanisa has asked for a two-man wall. There's 5 Papua New Guinea players in that box. It's not a bad ball, and Kemma Jack, he scores! Kemma Jack for Papua New Guinea. Lawson Tama has erupted.
I was just about to say how accurate Muta is with his set pieces in the last 3 games, and he has gone and put it on a plate, and Kemma Jack missed one early on in the game, but he certainly made up for it here. A little bit of a shove maybe to get himself some space.
Fiji just under 6 minutes plus time added on of going out of the OFC Nations Cup, and that man there, Kemma Jack. And listen to Lawson Tama Stadium. They know what that goal means for the Solomon Islands, but they'll also know what it means for Papua New Guinea. They've contributed so much to this tournament, and they've got something to savour. A goal from open play, a header from Kemma Jack. Remarkable stuff.
Can I take it you're rather excited by that equaliser?
It was a wonderful moment in terms of football. It's Papua New Guinea 1, Fiji 1, and there's a yellow card perhaps for Remuero Tekiati. Indeed there is. The underdogs under Frank Farina have flexed their muscles, and I said before this tournament that they may go home early, but they would play a part in determining the outcome of the semi-final picture, and that's certainly looking the case here.
And you wouldn't count them out from scoring another one. They look capable of doing it against New Zealand. They pushed the Solomons all the way, and they finally got a reward for their endeavours.
It's not over for Fiji yet. They could still come good. Goals can arrive in pairs at any time, but it does leave them vulnerable. Papua New Guinea could well go on and win this game the way they're playing. Upainga fighting for everything. Here's Foster. Lawson Tama urging them on. Devani, Upainga trying to lay it off. Tamanisau's going to have to go long with this. Smith's underneath it. And he's earned himself a free kick. Abiata Smith. There's a complaint from Valentine Nelson.
And I think the free kick may be going the other way. I don't know. I think that might be for offside. He's certainly, I don't know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Well, Kemajak, the fisherman from Kaparoko village, has scored the equaliser. And it was from this moment, well, not this moment, but Abiata Smith going up for the header and getting injured in the process. It was a brave and courageous challenge by the Fijian substitute, and he's going to have to go off and get some treatment.
And perhaps if more of his teammates had shown that sort of attitude earlier on in the game, they wouldn't be in this precarious position. And Fiji, for me, have brought this on themselves. It was too much. And I don't want to be too hard on them because of the exhaustion, but we've seen them inject themselves in this half. If they'd done it in the first half, they could have put the game beyond Papua New Guinea. They're really leaving it very, very late now to try and do it. Don't forget, though, we will get 2 minutes added on to normal injury time because of the water break.
Devani lays it off for Kemajak. Is there a second opportunity for the Kaparoko player? Not now. Now Fiji can counter-attack. Here's Doronabaka. Nice play from Baliatonga. Arvanesh is steaming up on the right-hand side. Dunadamu, the Fiji goal scorer, has it. Now Abiata Smith is unmarked. He makes a run to the near post. Oh.
Let's have a replay of that goal. And Kemajak rising above it. Beautifully played in by David Mutta. And it's funny because I was just going to say, as a free kick about to be taken, how accurate Mutta has been, how much he's impressed me from set pieces.
And there's the fisherman from the Kaparoko village who scores the leveller for Papua New Guinea, but there's still plenty to come. There's a shot. Kalai saves it comfortably, and he'll want to hold on to that ball for as long as he possibly can. Here's Foster.
They just seem to have a bit of a swagger about them now, the Papua New Guineans.
And this is how they finished against New Zealand, Miles, isn't it? With plenty of energy, self-belief. There's a cross, and it's, just by the far post. Jamal Sito. Corner.
Maybe as a deflection, or did Tamanisau get a finger to that? We'll have a look. There's a deflection off the defender putting his foot in. Yeah, I didn't think Tamanisau touched it. But more pressure now, and there's David Mutta there again. Another one of these really accurate set pieces of his. Maybe I've given him the kiss of death now.
Oh, it's a good one to the near post. Vuller has cleared it for another corner. And so Fiji just hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
And not far away from getting inside. We're going to see very shortly how much injury time. I would imagine to be about 4 or 5 minutes. 5 minutes is being held up. That does include 2 for the water break.
Tamanisau's punched it. So plenty of time for Fiji. Dunadamu surging forward. Smith makes an arcing run across to take the centre halves out of position. Now Dranabaka. So we're almost at the completion of the regulation 90 minutes and a minimum of 5 minutes to be played.
They have to start pushing more forward. They've only left the 2 strikers up. Big gap between them and the midfield.
Here's Foster.
It doesn't matter if you concede another goal.
Keeps going, and he has a shot. Tamanisau spills it. Oh, and he has a word to Reginald Devani. Frustration from Tamanisau. And that's a good kick by the goalkeeper. It's with Suami. Now Smith is unmarked. Oh, and a chance. Oh, and it's cleared just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Papua New Guinea living dangerously in these final moments. Fiji battling away. They need 3 points. Arvanesh lines up a shot and not enough dip on it. It doesn't test the goalkeeper.
And here's another chance here. The ball knocked in. Nelson trying to clear it. And Dunadamu has a touch, but another great save from Kalai, making the most of himself, spreading himself and making himself big, closing them down.
Vula wins the header. Alvin Singh picks it up, and Jamal Sito's nibbling away at his heels, trying to win possession for his country. Oh, and he's kept his run going. Flag has stayed down.
And rightly so.
Oh, it was a late call.
I think that's harsh, but again, they've made it too hard for themselves, Fiji. They've got no one else to blame. Well, I suppose you could blame the fact that Papua New Guineans have got a lot of pride. They've been well coached. They've responded to their coach. They showed magnificent endeavour in all 3 games, and really they should be getting this point almost to have a chance of going through, rather than Fiji being the ones to go through, because frankly they've impressed me more with their application.
That's a great header. Now Reggie Devani can put and the offside flag has gone up at the other end.
Still another 3 minutes of drama at Lawson Thomas Stadium, and there's certainly a lot of excitement in the commentary box as well as on the bank of the crowd, building up for this game. Oh, that's...
Well, I tell you what, Miles, he looked onside to me, Reggie Devani.
And
meanwhile, at the other end, Fiji are on the attack. Suami cuts in, a left foot shot could do it. It's blocked by Daniel Joe.
And they're just putting everything in the way, aren't they? The Papua New Guineans, they want this point. They want this point. They've worked so hard for it.
Here's Baliatonga. Oh, Jamal Sito now. Another one of these Papua New Guinea breaks that will have Fijian fans nervous. Kema Jack and Alvin Singh both turning possession over. Jack gets us going again. Now Sito. Blocked by Wanga.
It's all being played up the right end of the park for the Papua New Guineans now, and for the vast majority, I'd imagine, of this crowd, knowing that a draw will see the Solomon Islands, a host nation, go through to not only the semi-finals of the Oceania Nations Cup, and still with a chance of going to the Confederations Cup, but also to the World Cup qualifiers to be held in September, October,
and there's a problem here.
March.
Jeremy Yasasa's given away. There's a long-range shot. Well,
really, honestly, I know I'm sort of becoming like a scratch record, but the amount of pathetic efforts that the Fijians have put in, rather than look for their teammates and create a decent opportunity, Arvanesh has been a major offender as far as that goes. And here they go again, and this could be a great chance if Jack can...
The numbers favour Papua New Guinea. Kema Jack just lofting it in. Wow, look at that. Jamal Sito just gives Kema Jack an earful. So does Reginald Devani. We're back at the other end. Daniel Joe's got it. Free kick to Papua New Guinea. Now we've had almost 4 minutes.
It's a minute left
of additional time. Mutta plays it wide to Devani. Sito's unmarked.
We're playing at the far post.
He's also unmarked. Now Daniel Joe's still running. Oh, and that's perhaps a foul? No, goal kick.
And he's going to launch it, you know it. Somebody Sal's going to launch it.
It's all over. Referee Kato Zatuni has brought this game to a conclusion, and what an absorbing encounter it was, Miles. Absolutely riveting stuff. Papua New Guinea 1, Fiji 1, and Fiji are going home.
And deservedly so, I've got to say, Gordon, the Papua New Guineans, interesting to see the end there, they're not happy with the draw. They felt they should have had the win, they wanted the win, but a very, very good performance from them. A disappointing one from the Fijians. They got the lead early. They showed, I give them the benefit of the doubt that they were tired, but they showed enough energy in their second half to say that maybe it was an attitudinal problem.
Well, it was an absorbing encounter, and we can get some comments from Papua New Guinea coach Frank Farina, who is with Priscilla Duncan.
Thanks very much, Gordon. Yes, here with Frank. The momentum with you in that second half. You must be pleased to at least get a draw.
Yeah, pleased to get a draw, but win would have been nice to finish off with. But I thought we played quite well today, and again, I think it's a story of missed chances and possibly for Fiji as well.
Did it help to have the crowd behind you? I guess them urging you on with the result of Solomon Islands, New Zealand being so crucial.
Yeah, no, exactly. Towards the end, the second half was nice, I suppose, to have them behind us. But as I said, very pleased with the manner in which the team played.
You haven't made it through to the semi-finals, but just your overall thoughts on the performance.
Look, for the first time in, I think, 15 years that PNG have played at the Nations Cup, so disappointed not to be going through, but, relatively happy with not so much the first game, the way we played, but after that, against New Zealand and Fiji, I thought we played some good football.
Okay, thanks very much.
Well, a very happy man, and deservedly so. And Papua New Guinea are taking the applause of the Lawson Tama fans who are chanting PNG, PNG. They have ensured that this afternoon's match does not carry as much importance on it as it may have otherwise. They've drawn with Fiji. Fiji are out of the OFC Nations Cup. They're out of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Who would have believed that? Now we can join Imdad Ali, who is with Priscilla Duncan.
Thanks very much. Yes, Imdad, well, you needed a win there, so this must be disappointing.
Yes, it's very disappointing. Excuse me. Quite disappointing because I expected the boys to win. We had made plans to do the job well, but I suppose it was lack of fitness and our preparation to this Oceania playoff, and probably that is one of the reasons why we could not put in more goals and win this game, and it was a very important game for us.
For the fans out there, they may not know that Carlos Bazzetto has fractured his hip, so you've been missing your head coach. I guess it's been a tough week.
Yes, it's a very tough week, and Carlos is really injured, and he's back in the hotel in bed. But nevertheless, he had given his blessings to the boys, and I suppose the most important thing was the fitness level of the boys, because we had prepared this team in just 2 weeks, so they can't complain.
Okay, thanks very much. Back to you, Gordon.
So disappointed in Imdad Ali, and quite right, Miles, the loss of the coach, Juan Carlos Bazzetti, Miles, has obviously taken its toll on Fiji.
Yeah, I think that it obviously was unsettling. They had floods in Fiji as well. It really disrupted their preparations. And but I think seriously there was a lack of attitude in that first half. They took a lead, 14th minute, probably the only mistake that Kalai's made in the game in the PNG goal, and Dunadamu via head and shoulders, sounds like a shampoo, managing to put them 1-0 up. But they dropped off it then. They didn't seem to want the game as much. Not in terms of not wanting it. I think they thought that they'd done their job. And when you see the desperation at the end, if that had been there for the rest of the first half, they could have put the game beyond Papua New Guinea. But Papua New Guinea have just, for me, been the real surprise and one of the real delights of this tournament, amongst a lot of highlights. And David Muta with a magnificent free kick onto the head of his target man, Kima Jack. And how much, the village. We actually got an email from the village yesterday saying how much they've enjoyed his performances, and they'll be celebrating all over Papua New Guinea after that one. And well deserved as well.
Absolutely. Kima Jack from the Kaporoko fishing village. But there was plenty of drama that followed.
We'll have a little look at some stats if we could. Here we go. One goal. But look at that again. we saw this yesterday, I think, and that probably may have even outdone the not yesterday, the day before. Games come around so quickly. The Solomon Islands of Fiji, all the chances, but not that many on target. Corners, fouls galore, yellow cards.